Oh, yeah, absolutely. Good evening, everyone. I call this special meeting of the Newcastle City Council to order. Ms. Burke, would you call the roll, please?
Council President Suzanne Souter.
Here.
Councilperson Brian Badaway.
Here.
Councilperson Dermot Zubaka.
Here.
Councilperson Andrew Zelt.
Here.
Also present, Mayor Valerie Leary, City Administrator Antonina Tantillo, City Solicitor Max Walton, and Chair of the Board of Elections, Marianne Caven, and Diane Delgado, absentee ballot clerk.
Thank you. Well, the purpose of tonight's meeting is to receive the election results from the chair of the Board of Elections. So, Ms. Caven, you have the floor.
Okay. Simple. They have, this is, I just give to you as council president. This is the package that has the information on the absentee ballots. Okay. And with regard to the results. Okay, so we have the municipal vote tabulation for council president, William Barthel. We have 3 machines, we have write-ins, and we have absentees to tally, okay? So for Bill Barthel, machine 200, 104 votes. 201, 97 votes. 202, 111 votes. He got 46 absentees and 1 write-in for a total of 359. Suzanne Souter, machine 200, 105 votes. 201, 136. 202, 120. Absentees, 46, for a total of 407 votes. For council, Cynthia Batty on 200, 77. 201, 83. 202, 87. 26 absentees, no write-ins, for a total of 273. Joseph Day, 200, 100 votes. 201, 106. 202, 118. 49 absentees, no write-ins, for a total of 373 votes. Michael Platt, 200, 73 votes. Machine 201, 72 votes. Machine 202, 85. Absentees, 29, for a total of 259 votes. William Robinette, machine 200, 38 votes. 201, 45 votes. 202, 40. Absentees, 19, for a total of 142 votes. Andrew Zelt, 200, 93 votes. 201, 112 votes. 202, 96 votes. Absentees, 42 votes, for a total of 343 votes. And we only got, yeah, we just have the one. This is a little confused. Oh, I see they crossed it out there. So there was just that one write-in vote, and that went for Bill Barthel. Okay. And this is just where the tallies are for the council, the one write-in and 2. Wait a minute, this doesn't seem right. 2. Oh, they crossed it out there again. Yeah, somebody mistakenly wrote 2, and then they crossed it out and put 1 for the write-in total. So that's that. It was a total 16. And this is the absentee ballot total. Okay, so the absentees are Barthel 46, Souter 46, Batty 26, 49 for Day, 29 for Platt, 19 for Robinette, and 42 for Andrew Zelt. They're the same as what I just read on the full tallies, and they had been confirmed earlier. So this is I'm going to give this to you. This is the certificate for elections. And this is signed. This is where they check we certify the machines at the warehouse, and they check the numbers when they open them up in the morning. And everybody's signature, the board doesn't conduct any of this. We just oversee the conduct of the poll workers, because they are the ones that are handling the election. And they've all signed off on it. So I'm just going to give everything out to you.
Sure.
And I think Diane, I didn't make copies. Do you handle these and copy the
I can make copies.
I just need 1 copy.
And
to
then
start
I
to
keep them in the
confirm
files.
So thank you to all and congratulations on again. And it was a great group of poll workers this time. It was really smooth, very nice.
Great. Thank
And
you.
I will note one thing, it was a little bit of a change, a lot of a change, actually. The county always set up in the morning, they deliver our machines on Friday, they come Saturday morning. They have been the ones who have always opened the machines and led everyone. Well, when we did our training on Wednesday, it was different. Every poll worker had to go train on the machines, whereas normally we would have the machines in the front of everyone, and it would be the trainers at the warehouse that would just visually demonstrate what would happen on Saturday morning to open the poll. And this time, every poll worker had to go to a machine in the warehouse and be led and directed to go and do it themselves. And that's the same thing in reverse. We had someone there on Saturday morning, and we had someone come back late to close it, but the poll workers, and that will be moving forward. That's going to be the procedure. So they did great. Everybody, they were very impressed. The county was fine. It all ran smoothly. Just took a little bit extra time. You are aware of that in the morning because we're there at 7 and they started right then. They first handle the absentees. We go to the registration list to make sure that everybody that we have an absentee ballot for and who's on the absentee list that Diane provides us is marked up on the registration list itself. So if somebody comes in and they have a ballot, they have put in a ballot already and they want to vote because they're now able to, we pull it, we mark it, we pull the absentee and that's fine. So if anybody has any questions, I'm fine to answer it, but it was a really good election, other than the weather.
All right, well, we thank you and your members of your board.
Yes, thank you.
The members of the board and of course, all the poll workers as well.
Very well done. Thank you.
Public comments?
Okay.
Oh, wait a
Yeah, I
minute.
just want to thank all the poll workers and thank the board for putting so much detail into this. You guys always impress me how smooth things are and we did not know that there was a change of things Saturday because you guys did an amazing job with adjusting to it. My only question was about how many people were eligible to vote. I think it was when I was running, I forgot the number, so I just wanted to know
Well,
what's
the
the
list,
number right now.
Valerie and I had an exchange about this. The list, I think have more voters on it than a few people asked on Saturday, during the election. And I said, which I've requested before and I'll do again. And I think what I'll do now is send everyone individually and maybe even get something in the paper. The list has more people on it than it should. And I looked it up today and Diane assisted and the present list listed everybody had, I don't know which candidates requested list or had them, but 4,721 people are on that list. Now, I went and informed all the candidates on Saturday that some of those were ineligible to vote because they were underage. They were under 18. And I questioned it immediately. A parent came and noticed that their children were on the registration list and they're not 18, they were under 18. So, immediately I contacted the director, the county director for the Board of Elections and the warehouse. And what I learned was that I thought I couldn't understand it at first, but we learned that there were more and we marked them all up and took care of it. None of them voted, but you can, in Delaware, you can go, I knew they had to be coming from DMV, and I thought it was a DMV glitch, but it wasn't. In the state of Delaware, and I'm sure, Max, you know more about this, but my understanding is they were on the rolls because they can register through DMV, and if there's a general election when they're going to be 18 during that year, they can vote before they're 18 in a primary. So, if there's a primary coming up in June for a general election in November, and I go to DMV and I'm going to be 18 by November, I'm eligible. I think it's throughout the state to vote before I'm 18.
Thank you for clarifying that. So is this something we could just ask for county board to filter
Well,
out next time, or is this something we're gonna have to
I'm
keep track
meeting.
on?
Tracy Dixon, who's the director, is planning a meeting for June.
Mhm.
And that's not gonna be just me and our, Diane and our personnel. It's going to be with a lot of different municipalities, and she's going to find out what the needs are and develop a new system by where they'll be able to pull those people, those children, not children,
Mhm.
the people who won't be 18 and eligible during the day we want our election day, they're gonna be able to call them, pull them from the list. So that when we get our final list, which only comes the day or two before the election itself, it won't show the ones that would have been in our city.
Mhm. I presume they can create a report that, you know, puts in election date and then filters out people who are not 18 by then.
I mean,
so-
there weren't that many,
Yeah.
and the candidates were made aware. So nobody questioned later on Saturday how many there had been, but there weren't that many, but we have them marked up. I mean, if
Yeah.
anybody wants to follow up on it.
No, I just was curious about total number. Wasn't even aware of that. So, thank you for sharing.
Well, and also let me add that, the county did get back to me today about this issue, and they do cross-check. So when they get lists, they get fed, the names of people who have been registered, who are known to be deceased.
Okay.
But people move away. I know in the past, I made a point, I can't take people off. I've asked to do that. And our board and the city can't take people off. It has to go to the county.
Mhm.
But if you know people, that are, today you can find these lists online. You can put your street in it and get the voter registration for all your neighbors. But if you become aware personally or in any means of anyone who's deceased or has moved out of state or whatever, send it on, because they're not capturing everyone.
Mhm. Makes sense, yeah.
Again, I just wanted to thank you, Ms. Caven, for the work of you and your,
Oh, well, you're
Team,
very welcome.
and the group of volunteers, during the day. It's a long day for you all as well. Thank you.
Oh,
for
it's
your service.
rewarding because I can say this city works really hard. It is very responsible about doing any way possible to enable everyone who is entitled to vote to vote. That's what it's about, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you
You're
again
welcome.
for all your work. Okay, we will have public comment and this topic only for the item on the agenda for tonight. As usual, the limit is 3 minutes. Since the podium's up here, you can speak from there. I think we can all hear you.
Yeah. Well, I need something to sign in.
Oh,
I have paper.
Right there.
I just want to publicly, give notice that this election will be contested. We have 7 work days, to contest it. I think Max had been in discussion, and there's not a chance on this earth that a spouse of a candidate should be allowed to have any kind of privy as to ballot totals at any point until the election is finished and closed. And that is the state law. So you can look it up. Max, you've been spending all afternoon doing it. But I tell you, this will be contested, and I'm gonna try my best to overturn the election and have it run again properly. You can smile all you want, because I know you get thrills off problems.
Speak to the agenda, please.
Well, that's all I have to say.
Thank
Thank you.
So I'd like to be on the record, may be recognized, Madam Chair.
yes.
Ballot timer.
Thank you.
Public comment.
You're,
Complaint procedure for a challenge to the election is set forth in the municipal election law, which I believe I forwarded you all. You can someone can submit a written complaint to the state election commissioner regarding any aspect of the municipality's election activity that is contrary to state or federal law, which altered or is reasonably likely to have altered the result of the election. Such complaint shall be filed no later than 20 days after the result of the municipal election. So contrary to what was said, it's not 7 days. There's a different 7-day period for something else, but it's 20 days
okay.
that comes in, right? And the complainant must state with particularity the action or activity that is contrary to state or federal law. So what law was violated? And 2, state the specific basis for the complainant's belief that such activity altered or is reasonably likely to have altered the election, and then it goes through the state election commission. So I want everybody to be clear, that's what the procedure is in the state municipal election law, which I caused in 2005. So, so that's what the procedure is. If there's a complaint, I will deal with whatever the state election commissioner has to say.
Right.
But it's not the board's responsibility
Correct.
to go through that. There is a pre-election procedure, but that kind of ends at the election day. So that's the procedure. When this was first done, they didn't have a post, didn't have a mechanism for post. So you'll see it's got an A on the end of it. And that because it was the first election that came up after that, they were like, oh boy, what do we do now? So this is the procedure. So everybody's straight on what the actual procedure is. If Mr. Gross or anyone else files a complaint, that would be it. Your job this evening is to, hang on, I'm gonna make sure I got my language just right. Your job is to today is to convene and determine the results of the election and name the winning candidates. That's what the statute says. And that's what Ms. Craven has given to you the votes. So your job is to certify it. And that's per your charter. You guys have a little bit of an odd charter, meet at 8 o'clock, you know, council certifies. It's a little different than most places I've done. So if you guys have a vote to certify, then that 20-day period will be done. We're going to work on, I'm serious, altering the charter next time because you guys technically have 50 hours to certify the election. The state code says you're supposed to do it in 40 days, but I don't think anybody's gonna care.
That's a 2-hour difference.
That's correct.
So we should have a motion and a vote to accept the results as
Accept the
presented
result.
by the chair of the Board of
That's
Elections.
correct. And
Max-
certify the election.
You said you sent an email?
I did.
them, yeah.
I did.
To
I didn't send.
Antonina, and then
Oh.
she sent it to us.
There was a number, well, I was in meetings and everything else, there was a flurry of emails that got directed my way.
So
I did an omnibus response. I assume that, and I sent it to Antonina because of all the different people who were flurrying about with their emails. So I tried to take it all, put it into one thing. I sent it to Antonina because I was running out the door. So for that reason, I think you all didn't get an individualized email from me, but you got the results of the time that I had to work on this. So,
And just another question there, this might already be a practice, I'm not sure, but is swearing ceremony then goes
you have to
after
wait.
20 days, like basically the way that
That's
carried
okay.
out?
So the code says you can't swear in until 7 days
7 days.
after the election, right?
Correct.
So, I thought I was right. I'm glad we're in agreement on that. So you have to have at least 7 days. And whoever's there, who's ever currently in office, if there is a challenge, continues until a successor is appointed. So there's something else. So there will be no change in the council, even if the election were overturned, because those people stay at least for the next meeting, right?
But the person making the complaint would have to prove that
Yeah.
whatever action or disaction or inaction
And
would
they'll all
have
be called in.
altered the results of the,
Violation of the state or federal law in the election, and that the activity complained of would have altered the result of the
Gotcha.
election. So that's a test.
I guess I'm confused because we were told that was a public meeting for the counting of the absentee ballots. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So any member of the public could attend. In fact, we were told that the candidates could have attended if they
It's on
wanted
agenda,
to.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's correct.
That's correct.
And
I
that's,
understand.
that's what the law says.
That's correct.
So, okay.
And I
Thank you.
presume it's set up on a midday, on election day to
It's at
get
4
a heads
o'clock.
up to kind
4
of
o'clock.
start counting the votes, right, before the machine's done, right?
Right, it's at 4 o'clock, yeah.
4 o'clock.
And publicly noticed.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it was
yeah.
noticed.
I'm opening it right now.
So I didn't mean to send you all this email or give you all that. I just want to make sure everybody's clear on what that procedure would be. So that in case there's any question about it,
Okay.
everybody's got the same information.
All right, thank you. All right, is there a motion to accept the results of the election as presented by the chair of the Board of Elections?
So moved.
A second,
And certify the election.
and to certify the election.
A second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the election is certified, and is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
A second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
The meeting's adjourned.